Coming up on this episode of the Village Idiom.
It deviated into, and so the next subheading was our hot dogs sandwiches.
Oh, wow. No. Yes? No.
Village Idiom.
Hello and welcome to the Village Idiom.
We are a podcast that every week what do? We take a popular saying to take a shallow but hopefully comedic and once in a while interesting dive into its meaning, its origins, its usage, but we're also going to use it to hang our otherwise directionless conversation on. My name is Jurassic Mark.
And I'm Skinny.
You are Skinny.
Yeah, I've been working out a bit, getting ready for summer.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like to get
Beach bod?
The dad bod.
You're working out to get the dad bod?
To get to a dad bod phase. Yeah. I think that would be a massive accomplishment, actually.
So what's not the dad bod? You've got the God bod.
I don't know
if your God is Buddha.
Oh, now I need something to eat. Eat my feelings away.
Nice segue, because you saw me come in with the tray. This has nothing to do with today's idiom at all, but I ventured to make some banana chocolate chip bread.
What?
Loaf? Bread. Anyway.
Is it a bread or a loaf? Oh, I think this is clearly
a loaf of bread.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
You made this.
Made this today at the workplace.
Like in your office.
I did. Not entirely here. So I had a recipe. Been freezing overly ripe bananas, and so it was all mixed up, ready to go, and literally just that little toaster oven in the office. Not even a real
toaster oven.
Yeah,
I mean, really good,
right?
Yeah,
it's got a little crunchy crunch on the top.
Crunchy edges.
I know.
And still soft and supple on the inside.
Soft and supple. So what do you think? What do you think? Rate that. I'm gonna imagine.
In a world of condiments.
Yeah.
I'm going to give this
Maxim
an A51 sauce level.
In the world of condiments, you're going to give it an A51.
Is that a thing?
A1 sauce?
That's it. But it's so good.
A1 is better.
It's
like
A51.
First place is better than 51st place.
Maybe I'm thinking of Area 51 sauce, which is different. That's like alien goo or something, which is not edible, by the way.
Got it.
Alien goo.
Well, it's good you say that because I didn't want to hear these words.
Everybody knows I can't cut the mustard. Isn't that right, Dad? You listen to me.
Because that's today's idiom. Can't cut the mustard or can cut the mustard. Can't cut the mustard. Cutting the mustard.
This is mustard cutting. I'm just enjoying myself.
Oh, I'm glad you like it. I am glad.
You're going to have to carry the next couple minutes while I
digest.
While I consume this healthy, nutritious.
All right. Well, today's idiom is cut the mustard, and so there's no mustard in that, but it does cut the mustard. It did work as a segue.
Of all condiments, this would definitely cut mustard.
There you go. Good.
Yeah.
Because cut the mustard, by definition, is to reach. This is what I wrote down: to reach or surpass the desired standard or performance, and sometimes more generally, just to succeed. To have done something.
It's like if you're making
cut the mustard,
like toxic war gas. You're like, this one's really good.
Okay,
this is like a cut the mustard gas.
Wow, cut the mustard.
That's
gas.
why they call it mustard gas. Is it was so good, so effective.
It like, cut the mustard.
This one cuts the mustard. Let's call it mustard gas. Previous names include this is ketchup gas.
Ketchup gas. Nah, it's not good enough.
No.
HP gas.
I could give you gas.
Yeah, so cut the mustard.
I heard that the original version of mustard gas actually only killed people who were shorter than 4 feet.
Okay, where's this going?
It was called chemical dwarfare. And it really, for places, for height impaired army situations, that's what it was for.
That would change D-Day to what? Dijon Day? Oh.
Very nice. I like. It's like when you get a discount code for mustard, it's a poupon coupon.
I was trying to think of mustard names, and I, without Googling it, I got Dijon. and then honey mustard, and that's as far as I got. But Poupon, Grey Poupon, you remember those ads?
Absolutely.
When
Pardon
I
me, do you have any Grey Poupon? But of course.
That scene in Wayne's World where they roll down the window. Pardon me, do you have any Grey Poupon? I think that flew over the heads of anybody younger than us. Just like, what was that? Completely lost.
That was
Pop
good.
culture. I love when, again, way off topic. I love when commercials, or actually anything, becomes bigger than its original intent. Like when it's being quoted in other things. Or like, where's the beef? The Wendy's lady. Like back in the 80s, the where's the beef lady. Or Ernest P. Worrell. All the Ernest Goes to Camp, Ernest Goes to Jail. All those movies. You having trouble with the microphone?
No, it's good.
Okay. All those Ernest movies came out of a Pilsner series of commercials.
Pilsner, like as in the beer?
Yeah. Ernest P. Worrell was a character doing, hey, Vern.
Yeah. Know what I mean, Vern?
Know what I mean, Vern? It was all Pilsner ads.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it got so popular that he had a series of movies.
Terrible. Like Ernest Goes to Camp and
They're fantastic.
Know what I mean, Vern?
Know what I mean, Vern? Yeah. Anyway, for whatever, like anything that goes bigger than it really deserved. Spice Girls. Fascinates me.
Bigger than it deserved.
Yeah. I love it. Like what worked there?
It all worked.
I'm just saying it shouldn't have been as popular as it was.
Maybe not as popular as it was, but there was a lot of working going on.
There was working.
I was looking into like little mustard type or condiment trivia, and up came that mustard is the oldest of condiments.
Really?
That's what I thought. And it said mustard is one of the world's oldest condiments in the late.
But what classifies as condiments then? So anything sauce-like? Because salt.
Man, you just opened up Pandora's box right now. And Village Idiom children, please chime in on this, on your thoughts. So it's actually a controversial thing around the world. What is a condiment?
Really?
Yeah. So if you take something like I'll throw a few at you, and I jotted down a couple. If it's a condiment or not. So the idea in general is that if it can be its own standalone edible thing, that it is not a condiment.
Right. I agree with that.
Like, for example, what would you do with salsa? Salsa condiment. Exactly. So it starts to open up.
Well, no, you don't eat salsa on its own. You don't take a spoon to salsa.
Okay. Hummus.
You don't take a spoon to hummus. You dip pita chips in it.
Is it a dip then?
Yeah,
So are dips condiments?
of course. By your original definition, they
So
still
anything that I can put on. Cheese.
No, because you can eat cheese by itself.
So cheese can't
You
be
can
a
just
condiment.
have a slice of cheese.
So if I have if there's a burger bar or
it could
something
be
like that.
It could also be a topping, but it's not a condiment. Cheese whiz would be a condiment.
Okay. How about avocado or guacamole?
Avocado, a snack, guacamole, condiment.
So you take it, you mush it, it becomes a condiment at
yeah.
smushing point?
Yep. If you're no longer eating it on its own, like, and I'll have a side of guacamole with a spoon.
Well, technically anything you could eat on its own, but
No,
just-
yeah.
yeah.
But you don't have guacamole in a little bowl with a spoon as a chaser.
no, who does that? Like at the end of salsa night, you don't eat the rest of the guacamole. No.
No.
Only a savage would do that.
You use chips,
Sure.
right?
Yeah, so
But what about salt? Salt has to be older than mustard.
so it was whether a seasoning is a condiment.
Okay.
And hence the debate on condiments.
So seasoning is different than
It's like what do you
condiments.
do with like dressing? Like if you're going to have a salad with dressing. Cuz you don't
I would say condiment.
right, cuz so it's not something hopefully you're not just taking a spoonful of dressing.
Right.
Or you've got issues. But it's possible, but
You know
So
what my
then-
favorite salad dressing is? Frank's Red Hot Sauce.
so condiment.
Yeah, but the waitresses, like, I'll have the chicken,
Or
whatever.
waiters,
Chicken,
cuz boys can be waitresses too.
I haven't seen any.
Okay.
Not where I go. You go, instead of the dressing, can I just have Frank's on it? They just look at you like you're insane,
Right.
but it's awesome. Anyway,
You're just looking for like hot lube at that point.
hot lube.
That makes it sound worse than I was meaning it, but
I
just
know, but if you're looking
spicy
for a
lube.
condiment,
Spicy lube. Okay, let's move along. It's best to just move along, yeah. So yeah, the 4th, 5th century, the Romans were combining a mixture of ground mustard, pepper, caraway, blah blah blah, so fish sauce, oil to be used as a glaze for wild boar.
Is it caraway? What did you say? Caraway.
Caraway.
Oh.
Yep. Caraway. Yep. Coriander seeds.
I feel like there's a pun with caraway, like if you put too many condiments on, you get caraway. Don't get carried away. Don't get caraway. I don't know.
There's something there.
There's something there. Carried away, caraway.
Caraway. There's some sort of
Caraway, my wayward son.
nice. That's close enough.
Yeah, a song about condiments.
I was going
Caraway, my wayward son. No?
I'm caraway. Set an open door. There's always something in there.
All right.
Yeah. So, if it was a prepared
so it has
food,
to be sauce-like. It has to have a liquid.
So then there was a debate on consistency. At which point was it a dip or is a dip a condiment?
Dip is still a condiment, but you're saying seasoning isn't.
Like if I was to
Montreal
have,
steak spice,
that's a spice,
not a condiment.
not a condiment. So it has to be used not in the preparation, but an after a prepared,
So like salt
after,
and pepper.
prepared afterwards. So salt and
So
pepper
it has to be
doesn't count.
prepared. It's
Prepared.
something you prepare.
Prepared, yes. So this other prepared food compound containing one or more spices, which are added to food after the cooking process.
Got it.
Yeah.
So I can see why the lines get blurred, though, because if you, let's go real downscale here. Not that I've ever done this, but if you get a hot dog at 7-Eleven, over there is the condiments. And it'll have relish and onions and peppers, but they just call it condiments.
Sure.
So the line is blurred, but they're really not condiments. There's toppings and condiments on that little.
Yeah, well, see, like when we talk about
Fly
something like
circling
cheese,
buffet.
like you eat cheese, but so
do.
sometimes cheese is a topping.
Topping.
Yeah, which is a topping of condiment. Yeah, this is why people.
Like, is whipped cream a condiment?
I don't know. I do actually eat it
Hot
all by
fudge.
itself.
Hot fudge.
Yep.
So is hot fudge just an ice cream condiment, but sprinkles aren't? Because it's like salt and pepper
It's a
for ice
seasoning.
cream.
It's an ice cream seasoning.
Sprinkles are the salt and pepper of ice cream. Hot fudge is the mustard,
That's funny. Because this
but
one,
not strawberries, because that's a fruit you'd eat
well,
on your own.
it deviated into, and so like the next subheading was our hot dogs sandwiches.
Oh, wow. No. Yes? No. I think it's its own category that you put mustard on.
Yeah, so you start like, how do you start like distinguishing between some of these things? I know it's just semantics, but you know, when people have time on their hands on the internet, you know how it goes.
Or on the podcast.
Oh yeah, or us just rambling.
Yeah, exactly.
Nonsensically. Oh my goodness.
Exactly.
Where does the time go?
Okay,
we
well-
should probably take a peek at where.
Well, that first clip you heard was from
What happens in those moments?
1988's Mystic Pizza. Is pizza a sandwich if you fold it? This is my favorite clip that I found from 1985's Cocoon. You remember Cocoon?
I do.
Check this one
Absolutely.
out.
Steve Gutenberg.
Cowardly custard, can't cut the mustard.
I gotta turn that up.
Cowardly custard, can't cut the mustard.
Nanny boo boo. Yeah. So there you go.
They keeping aliens alive in the swimming pool or something.
Yeah, they were like, and while the alien eggs are in the pool, it's like
they swam
fountain of
with it.
youth kind of thing. Yeah, yeah.
That's a good.
All
one.
right. Well, we went off on a tangent, but do you
Weird.
want to play a game of the origins before we get into origins?
One more quick fact.
Okay.
Number one best-selling condiment in America. This might actually throw you off.
Is this brand or like?
It is a brand, but
Like,
I'll
so-
give you the whole.
So don't just say ketchup.
I'll give you the whole thing. If you get a brand, get a genre.
No,
Would you like
okay.
to go with ketchup?
The number one best-selling condiment,
Best-selling condiment in America.
but there is a brand.
There is a brand attached to it, but I'll give it. I'll give it to you, even if you just get it.
But I feel like by saying there's a brand, that's a hint to the answer.
Nah.
Okay. That's got to be ketchup. Then. It's got to be ketchup or ranch.
It's mayonnaise.
Oh, yeah. Mayonnaise isn't a brand.
Hellman's mayonnaise.
Oh, specifically
to
Hellman's.
to be Pacific.
Got it. To be Pacific.
Yeah, Hellman's mayonnaise, which I thought that's a weird. Like, it's got to be ketchup.
But it's also an ingredient, mayonnaise, to so many things.
Yeah, they listed it as #1 best-selling condiment in America.
Because it's a condiment on the shelf, but it's not always used as a condiment. Because you mix in whatever,
But I would
egg
think something
salad and
if you could get it in a packet, like ketchup.
another fantastic ice cream topping.
Mayonnaise?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Are you messing with me right now?
Yeah.
Okay, where did this thing actually come from?
All right, I'm going to give you 3 options. One of them is correct. Number 1.
Oh, is this, like, are we getting into origins?
Yeah, but these are the fake ones. I'll hit the origins button when I tell you the truth.
Did we miss the cue for the theme song?
No, when we get into real origins.
Oh, okay,
When
so I
tell
gotta guess. Okay.
Yeah, we're going to get
I like
into
it.
origins
I like it. I like
after
it.
you tell me which one you believe to be real.
Village Idiom children, get your thinkers on.
In 1932, when the atom was first split and the demonstration had such immense power, the Catholic Church released a newsletter reminding its parishioners of the power of faith, citing the scripture that states that the faith the size of a mustard seed could move a mountain. They concluded that cutting the mustard, as opposed to splitting the atom, surpassed this scientific undertaking.
The part that, so I like your working of the atom but the 1930s sounds way too soon.
Okay.
That sounds way too soon to me. Okay, continue.
Wait, seems too recent?
Too recent.
For the idiom or for the splitting of the atom?
Yeah, most idioms are older than like the 30s.
All right.
But okay, but I like the splitting of the atom.
Number 2. Not as old as you'd think. The 1949 board game
It's getting worse here.
Clue, the board game, which includes the character Colonel Mustard, is where this idiom comes from. If you made an incorrect guess on the murder weapon and suspect, it was said you couldn't cut the mustard. That is, unless the suspect was Colonel Mustard and the weapon was the knife.
Wow, I like it. If the weapon was the knife,
Then you cut the mustard.
then you cut the mustard. Wow.
Okay. Third one. Mustard is a synonym for hot stuff. And if you are even better than someone who is hot stuff, then you can cut the mustard. If not, you can't cut the mustard.
Hot stuff. That sounds made up worse than the other two. One of those is real? Yeah. Oh, no. The science one doesn't sound right, but the other one's even earlier. Colonel Mustard from Clue? Are you kidding me?
I love
the final one didn't have a date attached to it.
You want me to give one for you?
That means you're making it up, or you're saying that just to throw me off.
In 1891, when people were referring to each other as hot stuff.
Okay, you had me there. Because that doesn't sound real at all. I'm going to go with, if any of those are real, which actually none of them sound real, I'm going to go with hot stuff.
Let's find out. You ready for this?
Sure.
Where'd they go? No one can know. I turned around and looked behind. Those words came from another mind. Origin.
All right, well, you are correct.
It was hot stuff.
It was hot stuff, but
Really?
I took some liberty in explaining this. So let's go all the way back. The Oxford English Dictionary's earliest...
I feel so satisfied.
The Oxford English Dictionary's earliest recorded use of the cut the mustard from a Texas newspaper in an article about legislative debate is 1891, the Galveston Daily News. They applied several coats of carmine hue and cut the mustard over all their predecessors. So that same newspaper used the phrase again the following year. I think you still thought it was older than it is, because this is late 1800s.
Well, because I found something that was like 4th and 5th century for mustard.
About mustard, yes, but this as an idiom.
Sure.
You know.
That's like arbitrarily 2,400 years of difference
Right.
to invent an idiom.
So, using still the Oxford English Dictionary, it suggests that to be mustard, which is how it used to be used, it wasn't about cutting the mustard, it was to be mustard. So you're the mustard was
Like the goat?
you're the mustard was used to describe a person, which would be the same as calling them hot stuff, because mustard was spicy. And so if you were the mustard, you were the hot stuff.
That is awesome.
And so an example would be like, that guy's the mustard. Oh, that fellow is mustard, which was Edgar Wallace's
We can bring that back. You to mustard?
You to mustard.
That can come back.
It works.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
it still holds true.
Yeah. You the mustard.
Okay, so, however, somewhat similar mustard expressions were used even earlier, so this might make you happy. Strong as mustard goes back to 1659. So same meaning, like you're the guy, you're the man. Strong as mustard, man. Hot as mustard in 1679 meant someone who's very powerful or passionate. But if you said keen as mustard, that guy's keen as mustard, it was somebody who was just really enthusiastic, like keener.
So it was just like
mustard was just like the word.
It's the goat.
Yeah. You're the mustard.
You're the mustard.
And whatever word you put in ahead of it, you're the mustard, you're keen as mustard, that changed the meaning slightly. So the next question would be, why cut the mustard? Why does that mean something different?
So to take down?
So nobody knows for sure, but this is the most believable. In the late 19th century, just before cut the mustard was first recorded, the verb cut was also used to mean to excel or outdo. So if you cut someone, you outdid them, which I wonder if where you cut someone off, you get ahead of them, actually comes from. Like, why the word cut there?
Because you came in between two things.
Yeah, I guess. Anyway, it meant to outdo. So if somebody was the mustard, but you cut the mustard, you're better than the mustard. And we've already agreed that the mustard is the man.
Clearly the mustard is the man.
The mustard is the man, but if you cut the mustard, you're better. You've outdone the mustard.
You cut the mustard. That has like an urban flair as well,
it does. So 1884, April 13th, 1884, issue of the Referee.
We're gonna need a shirt.
Yeah,
with like a
you to mustard,
but with like a knife.
Oh,
like he's like at you,
cutting the mustard. Interesting.
But it says you to mustard.
I like it. So the earliest example of cut the mustard as an idiom, April 18th, 1884, the Referee, a British sporting newspaper, said George's performance is hardly likely to be disturbed for a long time to come unless he cuts it himself. So, sorry, not as an idiom, but as cuts being used as he's beating himself. The only way this record will be beat is if he beats it himself, if he cuts it himself. So cut the mustard is to surpass the mustard, to be more mustardy than mustard itself.
What can be more mustardy than mustard?
Someone who cuts it. You cut the mustard.
You think that cutting mustard is like diluting the mustard.
So did you have any pre-thoughts of where this came from before getting into it? Because I thought we were going to come across pass the muster. If something passes the muster, it's like it's been tested and tried and true, right? And so completely unrelated, pass the muster comes from military stuff. Pass, like you pass a test, you successfully completed something. Muster is a military assembly or a review.
Muster station.
Yeah, so you pass the muster is nothing to do with cut the mustard. So this guy cuts the mustard, but might not have passed the muster.
You the mustard.
You the mustard.
So he didn't pass muster, so he cut the mustard. He doesn't cut the mustard.
You probably, if you can cut the mustard, you've probably passed the muster. Did you ever watch the Munsters?
While listening to Mr. Mister.
Okay, so there you go. That's the origins. It was hot stuff, just in a roundabout way. I was trying to lead you.
So,
but I was pretty happy with
the truth of that is I really liked
the Faith one.
I really liked the first two.
I was proud of that one.
I really liked the first two
because that is when the atom was split.
And so all believable. And so I did what got me through like grade 12 science was just choose C.
Choose C.
Yeah. Little lesson out there, kids.
That's great.
If in doubt, choose C.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. It cut the mustard for me.
Well, we have a little game that we like to play, but before we get into it,
sure.
We reference him way too much, but Dangle Ano sent in the answer to the grain of salt episode, which was take that with a grain of salt and pepper. But he kept adding to it. So, oh man, that was a triple. So the answer was take that with a grain of salt and pepper. He added
Peppa Pig.
Peppa Pig.
Nice.
So take that with a grain of salt and Peppa Pig. So to not be outdone, I said, yeah, we've talked about doing triples, and I responded to him by saying, take that with a grain of salt and Peppa Pig, styling pigsty, styling, pig styling, jello pudding, pop, starboard, walk this, Weight Watchers, which was, I think, 9. Take that with a grain of salt and pepper, Peppa Pig, pigsty, styling gel, jello pudding, pop star, starboard, boardwalk, walk this way, Weight Watchers.
Wow. That's awesome.
I didn't try and make the hint for it. It just, here's the answer.
Yeah, that would be too much effort.
Be a couple paragraphs.
Just watch somebody
explanation.
have an aneurysm right in front of you. Sorry. That's good.
Riddling is a game we like to play that takes 2-part trivia-based questions. No, it takes 2 trivia-based questions and requires 2 overlapping answers.
Eat a mustard.
Like what we just gave. So last week when we did The Ball is in Your Court, you left everybody with this old-time, controversially angry tennis player goes gently down the stream. I chuckled right away because I actually didn't check. I should have checked to see if we got any current answers, but I'm assuming it was John McEnroe, row your boat.
That's the one.
Yeah, there you go. And that's how you play the game.
Very nice. Well, I've got a couple prepared. You've got a couple ready to go?
You betcha. Hit me.
Okay, I'll go first. You don't quite chop the ketchup. You nesting doll of fowl.
Nesting doll of fowl?
You don't quite chop the ketchup, you nesting doll of fowl.
So you can't cut the mustard. Nesting doll of fowl. So nesting doll is a Russian nesting doll. What are they called? Something. A fowl. Chickens. Turkeys. Cut the mustard.
The nesting doll of fowl.
I don't know. Mustard? Is the first word mustard or shorter? Is it just turd?
I barely want to wreck it for you. Illegitimate children are screaming on the other side of their thing.
I hate it.
Okay. So I will break it down.
Okay.
Fowl.
Chicken. Bird.
All
Poultry.
of that in a nesting doll format. Where one is inside the other. There's a special treat a person can have at like Thanksgiving.
Oh, yep. What's it called?
Starts with
Mustard. Tur. Oh, so you were removing the D from mustard?
Just say it all quickly.
Turducken. You're not remembering turducken? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Can't cut the mustarducken?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, I'm confident you might have been beaten on that.
Nesting doll.
Poultry
that's a good way to put that.
Nesting doll of fowl. I should have used poultry, but
Interesting. Okay, I got one for you. Named after
better be easier than that.
I also had comments that they would like us to read the puzzles, the hint, twice before we answer because they want to chat about it. So I encourage you to just press pause, but let's read it twice.
Okay.
Named after a town in Burgundy, this traditional mustard is a blood sport star. So, named after a town in Burgundy, this traditional mustard is a blood sport star.
A town in Burgundy. Blood sport star. A town in Burgundy. That really throws me off right there.
Maybe if you get the second half, it'll help you get the first half.
A blood sport star?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Brock Lesnar. Exactly.
Bloodsport. You never saw Bloodsport?
Oh, I was going in like MMA.
Oh.
Okay, so wait a minute. What will be the place but Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Yeah.
Jean...
So, a mustard named after a town in Burgundy.
The Jean-Claude Van Damme.
There it is.
Oh, that's painful.
We got there.
Yeah, I was in MMA land. George St. Pierre, Keem Nabib. Like I was, yeah.
Right.
So anyway, that didn't work. Okay, earmuffs, children. This horse-inspired prophylactic describes toppings for a hamburger or hot dog.
So I'm assuming oh yeah, read it again.
They want it twice.
Yeah, do it.
This horse-inspired prophylactic describes toppings for a burger or hot dog.
Oh, I see. I had just the one word, and I'm like, what ends with gin? So Trojan condiments?
Yes.
Okay, nice.
Earmuffs.
Earmuffs. Okay. All right, I got one more. Tell everybody how they can play along, be a part of this.
Please reach out to us.
Maybe you too could be mentioned as often as Dangle Ano.
You could reach out to us on Instagram at the.village.idiom or email us thevillageidiompodcast@gmail.com, or whether it's the Facebooks or the YouTubes or the Twitters at 3 Minutes Gone.
Very nice. Very nice.
What's our final one here?
I'm going to read it twice. It's so nice.
Okay.
Oh, wait. I needed a prop for this. This knock isn't good enough.
One more time.
This knock isn't good enough.
Let's see if you get it, and that is 3 Minutes Gone.
That knock, by the way, I was worried you were going to have the same riddle link, because to get into the studio,
They were
that's
so
the knock
left
you gave.
fieldy today.
That was the knock you used.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, that's your knock.
that's my knock. Nobody knocks like that, maybe. Knocks me like that, baby. Spit it out, man. Well, anyways, it was fun putting today's episode together. We hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day at work or exercising or doing whatever it is you do. I'm Skinny.
I am Jurassic Honey Mustard Mark.
And these are the Village Idioms.
That's 3 minutes gone.